Welcome to the Man Lucrative Podcast. I'm the host, the one and only McNeil's Evidence to be on it. This episode is brought to you by Safe Tire in Tucker, Georgia. If you ain't got no tires on your car, go over there. If you need a rotation on your car, wait. If you need a rotation on your car, you need a tune-up, you need any of this stuff done on your car, go over to Safe Tire. Tell them I might send you for the Man Lucrative Podcast. All right, let me shout a few people out right quick. And look, so this conversation that we're going to have today actually started last night in the group chat. If you're not a part of my community, consider joining my community. It's called it's called the Lucrative Community. The Lucrative Community is a group of people that I coach every Sunday. Next year in 2025, we're going to be doing a whole lot of other stuff, though. We're going to have workshops. We're going to have master classes. We're going to have events. We're going to have, it's a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff. But if you want to join, please go to the link in the bio. It's called the Lucrative Community. The Lucrative Community. Go ahead and join that and have a conversation. Let me help you, help me, help all this stuff. You know? All right, let me see. I said, what's up to Jazz? What up? Let me get my IG chat. I said, Kay, what's up? The Bobby, what up? King Dom Keys, what up? Jabari, what up? Bongin Frenzy? Is that how you pronounce your name? I don't know how you pronounce it. But what up? Black Bottom Media, what up? So this is somewhat of a wrap up for the year. I wanted to again take a lot of the time to just show my appreciation. So y'all might not get too many of the antics this morning. Y'all might get a few of them. Y'all might get a little bit of the antics, but this is one of those days where I just wanted to just shed light, show appreciation, and encourage people, right? So it might not be the most over the top episode, but I did want to have a conversation about the top 5. We're gonna have that today. And it's funny, every time I see people that get online and they talk about the top 5 MCs, they say, well, I'm gonna go with Pac and I'm gonna go with Biggie, right? It's always those. And then, of course, some people in the artsy musician community, we have the top 5 conversations as it relates to producers. And you say, well, it's normally Dr. Dre and Timbaland, they do that. Right? So today, I have segments because I am a musician. I'm a producer. I have been in this for a long time, for a long while. I'll say a long while. I have been here for a while. So I do want to have a conversation centered around top 5 producers, top 5 songwriters, top 5 artists, top 5 rappers. We going in. All right. I told you. I'm gonna try to chill. What up, Bubba? What up? I'm gonna say this again. If anybody want to chat up with me, if you want to chat up, you want to come on the camera, or you want to talk, we can talk. I'm gonna send you the link. Just send me a DM and I'll send you the link so we can chop it up. So I wanted to have this conversation this morning just to have a little bit of fun, because I think the top 5 conversation is normally like one of those barbershop conversations that all of the dudes have, and then it's a good frenzy. It gets the juice flowing in the room, and then people just start to throw these different ideas, and they start to throw the reasoning behind their top 5. So I wanted to have this conversation this morning. Again, this conversation actually started in the group chat last night. Again, my Lucrative Community. If you want to join Lucrative Community, go ahead to the link in the bio, join Lucrative Community. That's my community that I coach every week. Producers, musicians, singers, business owners, join it. But anyway, I said, yo, how many of y'all want to jump in on the pod tomorrow? If you want to jump in on the pod tomorrow, let me know, and I'm going to send you the link so we can chop it up and have a conversation around who is the top 5 of what. So before we get into that conversation, I wanted to, y'all know I love to do weekend wrap-ups. This is just in this case, week wrap-ups, right? So me being the dad that I am, I love to throw different little ideas out and see how my daughters respond to it, right? I'm that type of dad. I like to throw an idea out, see how they pick it up, whatever. So one idea I had, because my daughter's getting a little chunky, it's in the bloodline. Like, y'all remember I said something about this a while ago. I said, look, if you trying to do Ozempics, if you in your living room, you trying to do Ozempics, it ain't gonna work. If you fat, you already fat. You just gonna have to work out. You're gonna have to lose. You just gotta do the work. You will be that forever. So, and I want all of my big boned people to just adopt it. Just be okay. And I'm not saying be okay with being fat. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be aware. Be aware, girl. Be aware, my guy. You're gonna be big forever. So this is the thing. Ozempic can't save you. The only thing that can save you is the gym. Go ahead and go to the gym. Go to the gym. Yeah. But anyway, I see the traits starting to pop up on my daughter. I got a 6-year-old and I got a 9-year-old. All of my family in Carolina, when y'all see us this week, y'all will see that they got a little chunky. I got a little chunky too. So I'm aware. I'm aware. I know I got the big gene. I know I got the fat gene. But anyway, so I look at my daughters. I say, you know what? I need to show them something just to make them want to stop eating as much. Because first off, it's inflation. You know, the economy is doing what the economy is doing. And it's inflation. I don't want to pay all that money for all this food all the time. So anyway, I said, look, I'm going to show y'all a show that I think is going to help you out. It's going to make you think about all of the stuff that y'all eating. Can you guess what the show is that I showed my daughters? To make them stop eating. To just shock them. It's like Scared Straight. Fat version. Scared Straight. I'm going to wait in the chat. See if y'all know what that show is. If y'all know what the show is. It Scared Them Straight. I don't see nobody in the chat yet. Everybody on Twitch, what up? Hold up. I don't see nobody say the show. What is the show that'll scare anybody they're on the brink of being super fat? I don't see it in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and say it for you. My 600-pound life. Yep. So I turned the TV on. I sat down. Look, and this is the funny thing. Don't show nobody my 600-pound life while y'all in the middle of eating dinner. That's me. That's what I did. So I told my daughters, I said, all that eating and all that sneaking, all that candy and stuff. You know what? I'm going to show you something. So I turned my 600-pound life on as we eat dinner. They look like this. What is this? What is wrong? What is this? Is that a leg? Is that a shoulder? So Ziana looking like this. I know. I said, you want to keep eating? You want to keep eating? Hey, bro, can you mix and master a song? Sure. Just shoot me a DM. So I'm showing my girls my 600-pound life. Both of them just amazed. Like, I didn't know somebody could get that big. How is that possible? I had no idea. So we just watching it. And now the funny thing is, I think they're addicted to the show because they're now looking like, I don't ever want to be that big. Like, if I start eating like that, then just stop me. Because what happened was this. My youngest she's the chill type of person. She wants to eat. She wants to lay down on the couch with a blanket, cover up, and just cuddle up and do. That's her. That is the 6-year-old, right? So every time I see her, the first thing I be thinking about, girl, if you keep laying down and eating like that, you're gonna be fat. You're gonna be fat. But anyway, I say that to say this: in 2025. All of the people that want to lose some weight and you want to say, I'm going to get focused. I want to make sure I lock in on something. All of those people, I want y'all to go look at my 600-pound life. And if you look at my 600-pound life while you try to stay focused on your eating and your diet regimen, I bet you that'll shock you in the I can't do that. I can't do it. Anyway. I think that was the end of my wrap up for the weekend. We're gonna jump straight in. So the first person I want to bring to the stage is Theza. Shouts out to Theza. You are a beast. I love your content. And this is before we get to the top 5 conversation, because y'all know I can't just have a podcast and we not talk about some business. We got to talk about the money. It wouldn't be the Mad Lucrative podcast if we didn't. It wouldn't. So let me get Theza up to the stage. Let me bring him up right quick, and then we gonna talk about this. Cause one thing I've been looking at is the money changing, and everybody is starting to lose. Well, they've already been losing the jobs. So in addition to them losing jobs, there are industries that's changing right in front of our eyes. Full industries, full blown industries, and I think everybody is just looking like the deer in the headlights. Because one conversation I kept having was the you say, bro, please check. I text you. All right, cool, got you. But the conversation that kept coming up was, what is AI gonna do? What is AI gonna do when it comes to musicians, when it comes to artistry, and what is that gonna look like for the musician economy? I've been covering this probably for the last 3 podcasts, back to back to back to back to back. So, being that I've been covering it, I wanted to make sure I talk about some of the changes that's coming up. And also, this is something else too. I have been talking about how pretty much labels are going to exit out of the musician game and go into tech. I've been talking about this for a while. Guess what? It's already here. We're here now. We're here now. So these are some things I want to bring to light and just kind of make people aware. Yo, this is serious. I'm not saying this to be it's not fear tactic. I just want you to be aware. All right, so shouts out to the Mizzle. Check out this clip, and then we're gonna talk about it. All right, here we go. Shouts out to Meta too. Meta be looking out for you. Here we go.
Yo, I don't think you understand what's happening here with the music business. Downtown being bought by Universal. Let's take a look at that. Why? Downtown is a publishing administration company that services independent artists. Virgin Records that bought Downtown is owned by Universal. Virgin Records is the independent arm of Universal. Universal is going to start making AI content and AI music. So AI music is going to generate publishing money. Now, instead of paying artists, the publishing stays in-house. So a company will have to administrate that. So what did they do? They bought a publishing company. And speaking of buying, I mean, look at what's going on. Spotify owns a stake in DistroKid. Sony owns TuneCore. I mean, look at what's going on. The independent artist is getting boxed out from the majors, from Spotify, from the algorithm. They're creating their own ecosystem. And really, at the end of the day, BlackRock, Vanguard, Wall Street owns them all. So it's all going to one place. You got to remember, independent artists are like mom and pop shops. You see how the corporations have spread out, and now the moms and pops are less and less. It's to control market share. But it leaves a
And this is my thing. All right, shouts out to the Mizzle. Let me go ahead and get him up right quick. Let me give him a clap right quick for that. That was. So this is the thing. This is the thing. When it comes to the labels like a Universal, I think the first company that I was calling out was Sony. But this is the thing. This is the thing. And I like for producers and everybody in the creative economy, I like for y'all to think about things like this, right? And when I say things like this, I'm talking about the business model. All right, so you look at producers. You look at anybody that makes the bulk of their money from the art. Look at all of these people, and then you say, okay, out of all of these people, how many of them have an exit strategy for their business? And when I say an exit strategy, I'm saying something else that they could go, they could start going towards after the fame is done. Case in point, I think the average hit, if it's probably even shorter now, but the average hit used to live for about a year, maybe 6 months, right? Maybe 6 months. So what happens to the artist after the music is not hot no more? That's what my whole platform is built off of. What happens to the artist after the music is not hot no more? So now this is the thing you got to look at. Start looking at different producers. Start looking at everybody that's in the creative economy. When I say creative economy, I'm talking about TV hosts. I'm talking about singers. I'm talking about actors. I'm talking about painters. I'm talking about all of these dancers and OnlyFans girls. You look at all of these people that's in the creative economy and think about it. Think about this. How many of them have an exit strategy? So when they do start to get old, or when the music starts to die down, or when the trend changes, how many of these people actually have generated a business that they can live off of? And this is the thing. I have been calling this out for the longest time now. The reason I call it out is because I know what it's like to go broke after you get hot. I know what it's like to get hot again, and then you lose your bread, and then you got to go get the bread again, and you get the bread, and you ain't hot. It's a lot of variables. I know about all of this stuff, right? So this is the thing. If the average singer, songwriter, producer, and notice this is the funny thing. We're going to talk about top 5 stuff a little bit later, but I have to expose the truth behind even the top 5 idea. Because I ain't going to front. I can start early and tell you off the rip. Dr. Dre is one of my top 5 because his exit strategy. Again, Dr. Dre is one of my top 5 off the rip because his exit strategy, but not to get in that conversation just yet. What I mean by that is this. They came out with Dre Beats, right? Dre Beats, they had the headphones popping. They said, all right, everybody that does music, we need to put some Dre Beats on them. This needs to be on everybody's music video. Dre Beats, I don't care if you're a white girl, I don't care if you're a Hispanic, I don't care if you're a black person. Whatever you do, we need to put Dre Beats in their music video, even if it's the little Dre Beats pill. Y'all remember them? Y'all remember them joints? And it still might be in videos. I haven't seen a music video in so long. But it used to be when everything started, any artist that was on Interscope had to have them Dre Beats, headphones, peel, something in the music video. I said, oh, this is the exit strategy. This is the exit strategy. I love this because guess what that did? That afforded Dre to go out here, and I think he had a health scare not that long after that. But that gave him the freedom to deal with the stuff in real life that he had to deal with because this thing was over here, i.e. Dre Beats. Now, I'm sure, what was it? I think it's $1 billion business. I'm sure it's $1 billion business by now. But you look at how everything was marketed. You look at even how different parts of Dre Beats was implemented into the Apple model. And then how many people from Apple said, all right, we need to figure out a way to commingle this. That's what brings us to where we are now. Apple Music is only a Jimmy Iovine spinoff. Apple Music got Jimmy Iovine to come over there and say, all right, look, we need to make sure that we get sustainable. And what is the idea that you got? Jimmy, I'm sure he got a team of people. But he said, all right, so look, we got these Dre Beats. We ain't going to forget that. We got these Dre Beats. What we could do is we can group the Apple Music in this campaign with this artist, whether it's Demi Lovato or whoever. We can do this Apple Music campaign along with the Dre Beats campaign and do a partnership. They did that $1 million situation. Guess what? Cornered the market. Cornered the market. Because this is what I want. This is why I keep having these conversations. It is very, I won't say easy, but it's very lucrative for musicians to partner with business people. And I don't care what kind of business person it is just lucrative for a producer or a musician to partner with the business person. This is why. Most of the time, and again, these are conversations that I had over and over. Everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Instagram, everybody, wherever you are, I had to say what's up to my friend. That's one of my besties. Liddy is the bestie. He's the bestie. All right, anyway. But I think it's important for creative people to partner with business people. Because what happens is a lot of business people will not have the chops when it comes to marketing. They're not going to have the chops when it comes to being creative. So let's go back to the conversation centered around Universal Music buying downtown publishing. Look at this. What happens when Universal has the people that can code the music, when Universal has the publishing company that can collect the money off of anything that's generated on social media, downloads, any of this stuff, right? What happens when everything is under one umbrella? If you ask me, I call that a monopoly. Shouts out to all the Monopoly players. I call that a monopoly. So if you got all of these, if you got Universal that has all of these companies, then you got Sony that has all of these companies up underneath it, and they can be self-sustaining. What does that put the musicians? Where does that put the people that create the music? You're going to be in the streets selling A. You're going to be in the streets selling A. I'm letting you know off the rip. That's what it's going to be. Because this is something that I want creative people to think about. When it comes to business people are always going to try to figure out the best way that they cannot. We're going to call it monetize because I think we're talking the monetization language, right? We're going to say monetize. But business people are always going to try to figure out the best way that they can monetize, i.e. make money off of the business. And then how can they grow the business? This is one issue that came up, I want to say mid-year, it may have been last year, but we talked about it. Spotify had started to get to the point where they had peaked. They had got to a peak in subscriber base. This is crazy because everybody would think about a social media platform, or you think about Spotify and you say, okay, well, how is it possible for them to peak based off of what? What is this based off? They were looking at the users. They were looking at the different geographical locations. And I'm not talking about just in the U.S. I'm talking about in China. I'm talking about Japan. I'm talking about Germany. All the countries. And they started to say, okay, based off of the world, we are getting to the point of where we're peaking and there is no more subscriber base that we could tap into. That's wow. That's wow, right? All right, so now keep that over here. Keep that idea over here. Now you come back over here and you say, all right, so if Spotify started to get to the point where they're peaking in subscriber base, where can producers or where can musicians go to start making money off their music again? Guess what? Spotify won't be it. Because if you have started to peak, and I really pray to God that you're following this, but if you started to peak in subscriber base, i.e. you might have 1 billion subscribers, right? You might say Spotify might have 1 billion subscribers. If you've peaked at 1 billion and you have as many people uploading music as possible, and this is the only money that you're generating, how else can you grow your platform for something that's already peaked? How can you grow your platform? All right, so this is when AI comes into the conversation. Because they say, all right, well, cool. Universal owns a piece of this. Sony owns a piece of this. What we could do is we create some more algorithmic songs, create our new playlist that we own, create the virtual DJs that we own, create all of this stuff to generate publishing money, and we own all of it. And we just upload it. We upload that to Spotify. Now, this is the thing. I know y'all saw the dude in North Carolina. I think he was in the country in North Carolina. But everybody saw the dude in North Carolina that got arrested for creating fake bots and collecting like $300 million. I think it was not 300 million. It was a lot though. It was like a couple million, right? But the country dude in North Carolina created bots. Keep in mind, listen to what I'm saying. He created bots, uploaded music to Spotify, and then generated money and collected the money and income from Spotify. What's the difference between what he did and what Universal and all these big companies are about to do? What's the difference? There's no difference. There's no difference. So, yeah. And I would love to go deeper in this conversation. I feel like I need somebody to deflect some of the energy because I would just go down the rabbit hole, just like, conspiracy. I don't do that. But yeah, it's a weird place where we are. It's a weird place where we are. So now let's get to what the answer could be to all of this. Let's get to what the solution could be. If you are in that creative space, this is why I like to say creative people need to partner with business people. The easiest thing creative people could do is go have a conversation with the bar owner that's down the street. The bar owner down the street, he got a good amount of people that come to his bar. You might be able to pack it out with 50 people from the people that follow you on social media. So you go down the street, you talk to that bar owner, you tell him, look, man, I'm just trying to build my credibility in the city. Can I come over here and do a set in your bar and you don't even have to pay me? I just want to come over here, add value to your space. And if you let me do that, then You know, if you do want to give me a little something, give me a little something. But if not, it's cool. I just want to show my talent in your space. Guess what? That bar owner already got the space for you to do that. For you to come in there and provide entertainment at no cost, what is he losing? He ain't losing nothing. Now, if you good at it, oh, now that changes the conversation. What that's gonna do is make him be like, okay, look, I had this many people that was bopping and they were rocking to your music, and all of these people went to the bar and they ran the bar about $5,000 for the night. On a regular night, I might have $1,200. I might have 1,200 people that buy out the bar for the night. But you, when you came in here and you performed for free, you generated $5,000 just from people staying in the club longer, wanting to drink a little bit more, wanting to enjoy the environment, wanting to enjoy all this stuff. What do I need to do to get you over here next week? Now you created a valuable space. Congratulations. Congratulations. So now that starts to give you a little bit of wiggle room to be lucrative and start collecting some type of money off of your art. And that's the basic, that's like the bare minimum basic thing that you can start doing to start getting your music heard. All right. But let's take it a step further. Let's take it a step further. Let's say that same bar owner is online and he's promoting his real estate business, or he's online and he's promoting his bottled water business, whatever he got, right? Now, because you built the relationship with him through the club and y'all got a good business relationship over there, you have the ability to say, look, I see what you're doing on social. I actually tasted the water. That's the same water that you promote on Instagram. Same thing. He going to say, yeah, that's the same water I promote. Bet. Guess what? I can do a jingle for you. Guess what he going to say? I already know you. For real? You got something? Yeah. And these are basic plays that can be done. So now y'all already started to generate money. You've already created value in the club. You've already built a relationship with them. Now that partnership can go from here and eons beyond. Here and eons beyond. I like that. That's pretty cool. But now you have the ability to do so much more stuff just with that one relationship. What happens if the same business owner has a guy that comes in and he's a real estate developer, and the real estate developer wants to do an event space in another side of town? Now all of these other relationships could be generated from that one relationship. But I think what's been happening is, and this is something that we've been sold, including me, but I'm not sold out to it no more. But back in the day, I was sold out to it. We've all been sold the idea of being comfortable. We've all been sold the idea of it don't take that much to do that. All you got to do is this. If you want to do that, then this happens. And those basic conversations, even the T-Pain clip. I know everybody, I shared it on my IG. I think I shared it on my IG. But T-Pain was saying that he did his first deal, they gave him $40 million. $40 million. That's a lot of money, right? But this is the thing. And this is the same conversation I have over and over again. If somebody's willing to give you $40 million, if anybody is willing to give you $40 million, how much money you think you're going to generate for them? If somebody willing to give you $40 million, how much money you think that you're going to generate for them? So I'm not saying that T-Pain was wrong for the deal, because guess what? I probably would have took the deal too. $40 million? Yeah, I take it. Definitely. Shoot, I take 4 when it comes. If it's on just music, if it's just a music conversation, yeah, $4 million. Let's do it. And we're going to bust down some form of publishing on the back end. Let's do it. Let's do it. But this is the thing. How dare I take a $40 million deal if I'm building an empire that in the next 5 years could collect $100 million? We got to look at, we had to have some contingencies in the deal. We got to have some other things in play that's going to work out in our best interest. But anyway, that's one thing. I want artists to start getting in bed. That sounds bad. But I want artists to start building business relationships with business people. It's enough of creative people. And I this sounds bad what I'm about to say, but I think it's time out for creative people to be in only creative spaces. Only creative spaces are the open mics, Those are the competition shows. Those are anything that's like the hoopla, and it's a bunch of creative people around. Creative people don't need to be in those spaces. Those are the spaces that you go to cultivate art, right? But if you've honed in on your art and you are constantly working on it, now it's time for you to graduate into other rooms. You got to go into other rooms where you provide a different type of value. Because this is the thing. Let's do a parallel. Let's say you got one musician that's on IG, it's on TikTok. TikTok about to be up, so we ain't got but that much time with TikTok. But anyway, let's say we got a artist that's on TikTok, Facebook, all these places, and they got a collective 150 to 200,000 subscribers or followers, right? Let's say you got that already. Well, why would you try to go back and try to get more creative people to be in your creative bubble? No, now is the time for you to start figuring out, okay, I have this many followers, I've generated this amount of money. This money don't equate to all of these followers. I need to change something up. This is what I need to do. Let me build a business. And then you go sit down, you talk to ChatGPT, you start brainstorming, you got this business over here. Now you say, all right, I already sold t-shirts. I already sell my music. I already got these little cool little, I'm going to say novelty pieces for your merch. You already got all this stuff. What happens next? Now you need to start figuring out, okay, what type of partnerships that I need to create to set me up for retirement? What type of partnerships do you need to create to set yourself up for retirement? And this is the thing. Retirement is not necessarily saying that you're not going to work. Retirement to me is saying I have the option to do something. I have the option to not do something. Because nothing is worse than getting up every morning and having to do what you got to do. I got to go let me go get this shit. Tell me this. This is a poll. I want y'all to think about this. When is the last time you woke up in the morning and you said, man, I got to go get this check? And it was a positive emotion that was attached to that statement. Let me go get this check. It's normally not positive. That comes from a level of scarcity. It's normally not positive. It's normally like, I got to do what I got to do. Even those type of phrases, I want people in 2025 to erase the idea of, I just got to do what I got to do. And start to look at the thing for what it is. Look at the thing for what it is. The first thing, if you got a job, shouts out to you with a job. Shouts out to you. But if you got a job and you get up every morning to go to that job, guess what you need to do? Respect that job as your investor. That job, it should be the person or the entity that's investing into your business. It's not just a thing that you go to pay bills. It's not just a thing that you so happen to slip up on. Even if it's a lower level job like McDonald's or like any fast food restaurant, even if it's one of those type of jobs, guess what? It's still an investor into your future. So that's the first thing. Look at your job as your first investor. Shouts out to Storm Leroy. He's the first person that I heard say that. And after you look at the job as your first investor, I want to go to what Myron Golden would say. Shouts out to Myron Golden. Hold on, let me give him one. Got to. Myron Golden says, every time you make some money, you want to make sure that money has babies. You don't want your money to be barren. You want your money to have babies. So as soon as you get $100, you need to put $10 towards something. And this is the thing. Most people have the inkling to do the things that I'm talking about or to just start. But most of the time, we get caught up in our friend groups. This is why I created the Lucrative Community. You can join right now. Links in the bio. But if you join my Lucrative Community, you'll see there are certain people that's in the community. Well, most of the people in the community. It's an accountability piece. It's an accountability piece. Because what happens when you get up and you go to your job, you get off of work, and then you come home to the same environment. You can't afford to go to this mixer that costs $500 and there's all these Fortune 500 people in there and they having conversations centered around business. If you can't afford to do that just yet, that's why I created my community for things like that. Because I do believe If you don't have accountability partners in anything that you're trying to do that's outside of your norm or the outside of your normal temperature, I like to use that idea too. If your temperature is already set at 60 and you want to achieve 80 and you want to achieve 80 and going up to 100, well, guess what? You've been living at 60 for all of these years. 60 has been your norm. How do you think you're going to push yourself out of 60, go into 70, go into 80 to accomplish this big stuff? The easiest way to do that is to get around people that's going to hold you accountable. The easiest way to do that is to get around people that's going to hold you accountable. That's why I used the first idea when I first started the podcast. I was talking about showing my girls my 600-pound life. Because I believe if the scare tactic and the fear of not doing the thing doesn't exist, you probably won't do it. And then if you don't have the accountability piece to it and the community to help support you, then you're probably not going to do it either. And it takes a different type of person to dig from nothing and get all the way up. It takes a different type of person. And you can keep looking at the successful people the people that we deem successful. You can look at all of them and you can see where something changed when they got around this person. Something pivoted when it got around this person. I know all of my fellas, they'll be clowning Tyler Perry, but I love Tyler. Shouts out to Tyler Perry. Shouts out to Tyler. But if you look at Tyler Perry he was doing the stage plays and all that stuff for all these years, right? But I think the part that a lot of people omit from the story, and he's told it, and Jake's has told it, but the pivot that happened after he got to, I think he was doing the stage plays for a couple years from income taxes, i.e., he was investing in himself, making sure that his money had babies. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, he was doing all his investing into the stage plays. Voila comes TD Jakes. I don't know what all of the detail was as far as the money that was put into the stage play to make it work, but you see the change. It was a pivot from there to there. Then after that then Oprah came to the situation. He went from there to there. And then after that, it kept building on to more and more stuff. But that came as a result of him getting in different spaces. I would even go back to 50. If you look at 50 and the how to rob and steal, that 50 Cent was probably always the same 50. That was the same Power 50. That was the same Get Rich or Die Trying 50. It's the same 50. But what happened? Now you get around Dr. Dre. Now you get around Eminem. Now you get around Jimmy Iovine. Now you get around all of these corporate people, and they show you a different side of the thing that you probably didn't look at first. They showing you a whole different element, right? So this is, and I might not even get to my top 5. Golly, I'm almost an hour in. All right, but I think this is a more important conversation. We could always talk about top 5s. This is a more important conversation. But friend groups. So the first thing was, I don't know if anybody's taking notes, but the first thing was make sure that you look at your job as your first investor. I think that'll change the way you conduct your day to day. When I go to work, I'm smiling. I got energy for the most part. I'm gonna give love. I'm like, yo, bro, what up? Good to see you today. What up? That is me. That's me 24/7. No matter what room I'm in, that's me 24/7. Guess what? I respect and appreciate everybody that's in my environment. Cause if I didn't, now what does that put them? That makes them maybe act a little shady towards me. That makes them look at me like a opportunist, and I don't have their best interest in heart. That makes them second guess helping me to do something that might be a little bit different, a little bit outside of my regular job description. And this is something else. From me respecting my job as my first investor, every time I go to work, I look for the opportunity that's in the bad part. And when I say the opportunity that's in the bad part, let's say I have a customer, they're irate, right? That is the opportunity for me to exercise, I was about to say cussing, but that is the opportunity for me to exercise patience and communicating the patience and communicating the problem solving aspect of whatever's going on at the time. But most people, if they have an irate customer and they're going in and they're, F you, most people will match that energy. You see what I'm saying? Most people will match that energy. If you match the energy of that person, where does that put you? That puts you outside of your space. That don't help you develop no muscle. That don't help you do anything better than what you're doing right now. Another example. Let's say it's a trainer that works at the gym. Right? Let's say it's a trainer that works at the gym. Yo, shouts out to you, Chris. Appreciate you, bro. But let's say it's a trainer at the gym, and the trainer comes in every day, and he moping, and he like, man, I don't really feel like being in this mode. But he diesel. Everybody sees, oh, you know how to get the work done. Your body look right. You gotta see what you're doing. But every time he comes in, he moping. How many new clients do you think that person is gonna attract just from that energy? None. Most of the clients gonna say, I see that you got the thing, you got the product as a result of your body. I see the product, but I don't really want you to train me. You look negative. I don't really want you to. So that's one thing. So now you not only cut off the idea of having somebody that you could train as a fitness trainer. You not only cut that part off, but now you cut off the idea of growing your income. Now you cut off all of the other things that could have came as a result of you just respecting your job and respecting your clients, as these are people that I want to pour into. Goliath, what up? So that's one thing, right? So you got two different options. I want you to respect every space that you're in, respect every environment. Now, this is the thing. It's going to be some disrespectful people, sure. It's going to be some people that don't really rock with you, sure. That don't mean you have to show them attention. When I tell you, every time I've come up on an opportunity, whether that's in music, whether that's in real estate, whether that's in now in the podcasting space and selling advertising, anytime I've come into different spaces like that, and something matures from those relationships, it always came as a result of me coming in with positive energy. Every time. And I can tell you this. I know when there were a certain time period in my life where I don't feel like I was too positive, and I didn't see nothing as an opportunity. I saw everything as a struggle. I saw everything as an obstacle every time. And the funny thing is, people that know me now probably could never see that version of me. Like, you would never see it. Like, you'd be like, you? For real? But yes, there's a certain time period in my life where I couldn't see no positive. And it's just like, yo, when I couldn't watch, this is the funny thing. And I believe in God, right? I believe in God. Whatever, if you are if you are a environment and universe believer, that's on you. Cool, whatever. But I believe, and I can see every time that I chose to have a negative attitude when it came to anything, no opportunities came. Not one opportunity. And I was working. That's the thing. I've always been a worker. I've always worked hard to get the job done. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do more hours. I'm going to go there. I'm going to pick up all this stuff, right? All this stuff. But guess what? While I was doing that stuff, I was like, man, dang, how much longer I got to do this for? Guess what? That killed any opportunity that could have come as a result of me doing the work. Killed every opportunity. So I challenge you. Look at the positive side. So again, respect your job as your first employer. Even if you got your own side hustle, whatever you're doing, respect even your clients as your investor. Because this is something Goliath can attest to, and I'm sure a few other entrepreneurs can attest to it. There will be certain clients that you deal with that's just irritating. And you're going to be like, yo, every time that mother call, there's an issue. Or you got to listen. You're going to have to be the counselor. You're going to have to be the coach. You're going to have to be all of these things to this person. But guess what? If you respect all of your clients and you treat them with positive energy, more than likely, they're going to be with you forever. They're going to be with you forever. Versus, like a lot of the people down here in Atlanta, I'm sorry. Atlanta, it's everywhere. It's a little bit everywhere, but all the big cities. If you are a person like the barbers that come into the barber shop late and you scheduled a person to come cut their head at 9 o'clock, but you showed up at 10, that's disrespectful. That's not treating your customer or your client as an investor. Everybody that's doing makeup and you show up on site late and you do a really good job, but guess what? You came late. Every time I saw you, you're here late. Guess what? You're not treating your client as your first investor. How would you treat investors? If it's a person that came up to you and say, look, man, I want to invest $1 million in your business. I love everything you're doing. I think you got it going on. I want to just be a part of what you got going on. Yo, people gonna be like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, God. God bless me with $1 million. You're going to do all that stuff, right? And then the person that gave you the $1 million, you're going to treat them like gold. You're going to be like, look, man, I'm going to stay on my timelines. Every time they say you're going to do something, I'm going to respond to the texts. All this stuff, right? You're going to do all of these things because they gave you the $1 million. Well, the client is giving you the $1 million. The person's hair that you're cutting, they're giving you the $1 million. The job that you're going to is giving you the $1 million. How? I'm going to tell you how. Every time you collect money, if you just add it up, now this is your fault for selling the time for cheap. That's a whole nother conversation. But every time you make money, if you start divvying it out, I don't care if you're making $40,000, you're making $50,000, at some point you're going to cross $1 million. Now it's your fault on how you spent the $1 million. That goes back to what? Making sure that your money have babies. That's why I like to choose both of those examples when I'm talking about money and this type of stuff. This is why I like to talk about it, because if you treat your job as an investor and then every time you make some money, you want the money to have babies. Let's say you did $50,000 a year. Let's say you make $50,000 a year, right? $50,000 take home. That means you're probably doing close to 75. But let's say you do $50,000 a year. And you invest 10% of the $50,000. That's $5,000 a year. And you start getting compound interest. And you start doing other investments. You do a little bit of real estate. You do a little bit of IRAs. You do a little bit of all this stuff. You do insurance. Yo, IUDs. I heard it's something. I ain't going to talk about it. I have a specialist in 2025 coming in to talk about IUDs. It's a different type of bracket. It's a different tax bracket. But you do all of these things over 10 years worth of time. You're probably going to hit the $1 million mark like that. But most people are looking at they're looking at Instagram, they're looking at the internet, and they say, all right, well, I need to fast track. I believe in fast tracking everything too, but make sure we do some things that's sustainable. Make sure we do some things that's sustainable. I have a few investments that I put in on the crypto side of things, and I love it. I love it. I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast. You got to be in what? My lucrative community. You want to join Lucrative Community? Go to the link in the bio. Goliath said, love you, but you're draining my energy. You cut your clients off? Now, I ain't going to front. So some of my clients I did have to cut off. I don't do the hood crowd too much no more. And I don't do too many studio sessions no more. So a lot of in-persons, I don't do it. And this is the contingency. And other producers, I think this is going to help you out. If you are a producer and you're listening to me right now, this might help you out. Now, don't try to do this from a point of being an expert. Do this from a point of caring about the outcome of the artist that you work with. But I don't work with any artist that I can't do a one-on-one coaching or a Zoom with first. If I can't do a one-on-one coaching, whether it's in person or over Zoom first, and we get to the nitty-gritty of how you're going to treat this music after we create it, then I'm not going to work with the artist. I don't care if you're paying $1,200. I don't care if you're paying $2,000. I don't care what you're paying. I'm not going to produce the record, because this is the thing. Why would I produce an artist and give them a beat that I could sell to anybody else for $5,000 to $10,000? Why would I give an artist any beat that I could sell to any of these other people for this quadruple the amount that you're going to pay me? And then Once you put the music out, how you gonna market it? Don't just tell me that you're gonna buy some Google ads. Don't just tell me that you're gonna pay to get on the playlist. Don't just tell me that you're gonna do, yo, I'm gonna make you the next hit. No, you're not. You're not gonna make me the next hit. I promise you're not. You know how I know you're not? Cause guess what? I have already produced on a hit making album. I already know what it feels like. I already know what the Grammy. I know what it took to get the Grammy. I know what it took to get all of this stuff. So you're not gonna do this for me because you don't even know how you're gonna market the album. Okay, you're gonna market the album. Who's your marketing team? And this is where people go blank. I don't know. I just write a hit, dog. No, it's not just about the hit. All right, how's your social media presence? I mean, I post every now and then. Dead. And this is the stuff that I just look at. These are the basics. We didn't even get into the algorithm and then the BPMs that hit a certain neuro region in the person's brain, and it makes this person think this and it makes them want to buy this, and the color of my album cover did. We ain't even get into all that. You ain't even tell me. You haven't told me anything about how you gonna make this record work after I produce this record for you. But guess what that's gonna do? That's gonna make the artist think like this. Buddy really cares. Wow. Okay, I need to think about this. All right, bet. And what's that going to do? That's going to create a different type of value with that artist. They're going to say, I like all of these producers over here. I like how they do things. The beat is even knocking. But when I go to him, he always asks me about the business of the record before we do the record. I like that. And I want to get all of my creative people to start thinking like this, because guess what? Now everybody's using ChatGPT. The labels using ChatGPT. Have y'all seen the doctors? They put a doctor up against ChatGPT, and ChatGPT won. We're here. We're already here. We're here. Let me read the chat. Goliath says, bro, if every time I see you it's a sob story, you're not on my level. So this is the thing. I don't like sob stories. I will give every person, especially the ones that don't necessarily know me, the people that don't know me, I'll give them one sob story. I give them one. And after we've had our conversation, if you haven't changed the way your view is on your personal situation, or if you can't find opportunities, that's when I cut you loose. But I give you one. I give you one sob story, because I think what happens is, at least what I've noticed, I'm not a counselor. I'm just a music producer. I'm merely a music producer. And everybody on Instagram, I might time out on Instagram. I don't know. I did send them a request to make sure I stay up on IG. So we're going to see if they actually kept me up on IG. We're going to see. But I notice every time I am working with somebody, whether that's on the contracting side, working on properties, whether that's with the music side, whether that's a business owner that I'm working on their marketing strategy, I notice a lot of people are already conditioned to see the negative outcome. We're already conditioned to see the negative outcome. So I understand that part. I think that's the human aspect. But now, when I come in and I address the negative part that you're viewing as negative, and I'm showing you the opportunity in it, after I've done that, if you continue to choose the negative outcome as it relates to your personal situation, I'm done. I'm done. Because it ain't but so many ways you can sell somebody a positive outcome. It ain't but so many. Right? It ain't but so many ways you could do this stuff. Back up. I think we back. Are we back? Are we back? We back. We back. We back. All right. We back up. Uh, Madam Trivy.
Hey.
Hey.
Hold up. I'm gonna see if we back up. The live just killed. It dead it for some reason. Can you see me?
No.
All right. I might have to restart the joint. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna restart it. This is the last day for this computer. I'm buying another one.